Welcome to Midnight Story. Tonight, I want to take you to a quiet corner of the American Midwest, where the nights are long, the stars seem close enough to touch, and where, on one unforgettable evening, a train arrived 100 years late. Ridgeway Junction was a small town, almost forgotten, with one main street, two diners, and an old train station of red brick and fading white trim. The stationmaster, Samuel Blythe, had tended this station for decades. Quiet, gentle, and patient, he polished the rails, swept the floors, and oiled clocks that ticked a little too slowly. But the trains had stopped coming. The line was closed, the tracks rusting, and yet Samuel stayed, holding on to a promise he could not fully explain. Every evening he lit the lantern on the platform, even though no one came to see it. Every morning he checked the telegraph machine, though it hadn't clicked in years. He was waiting for closure, though he didn't yet know what that meant. Years ago, when Samuel was 17, Ridgeway Junction had been alive with travelers. One of them, a girl named Evelyn Hart, carried a leather-bound sketchbook and spoke of mountains as if they were old friends. She and Samuel spent a single evening talking under the warm glow of the station lamps. They spoke of dreams, adventures, and the life she hoped to build. Before she boarded train 1422, she handed Samuel a folded piece of paper. "For when the tracks get quiet," she said with a smile. Samuel tucked it away. That train never reached its next destination. Some said it was a storm, some said a landslide, but the truth remained a mystery. The town mourned, and Samuel carried her letter in silence, never opening it. Not yet. It was a quiet autumn night when it happened. Samuel was finishing his shift, ready to lock the station door, when he heard a sound that made his heart skip, a steam whistle, low and long, echoing through the valley. At first, he thought it was fatigue, but the ground trembled, the rails vibrated, and dust fell from the rafters. Stepping onto the platform with lantern in hand, he saw it. A locomotive, massive and black, glowing faintly red as if warmed by a century of memories. The headlight flickered like an old lantern, and steam hissed softly. Painted on the side, faded but unmistakable, was the number 1422. The train rolled to a stop exactly where it had stopped 100 years ago. There were no passengers, no conductor, no crew. Just silence, and the faint scent of lilies, Evelyn's favorite flower. Samuel approached the first passenger car. The door swung open slowly, inviting him in. Inside, the air felt colder, heavier, as if he had stepped into a memory. Suitcases were neatly stacked, a child's toy train lay on a seat, a pair of gloves, a newspaper dated October 11, 1925. At the very back, a sketchbook lay open, untouched by dust or age. Samuel lifted it and his breath caught. It was Evelyn's. Inside was a sketch of him, drawn with gentle, careful strokes. Her handwriting beneath it read, "For the one who keeps the light burning." Tucked inside was the letter she had given him so long ago, now completed with words dated after she boarded the train. "If fate ever brings this train home, promise me you'll say goodbye properly," it read. Samuel stepped into the next car. Again silent and timeless. Shapes were etched in condensation on the window's small handprints, outlines of faces, initials inside a heart. The air felt alive, filled with the soft murmur of conversations, blending into a peaceful sigh. He placed his hand on a seat. It was warm. He wasn't alone. The passengers had been traveling still, somewhere between memory and time, and the train had returned because someone was waiting for them. In the last car, he found a conductor's logbook. The final entry read, "Time has shifted. We follow the light back home. If the station lantern still burns, we will reach it, even if 100 years pass." Samuel understood. Every night he had lit that lantern, he had been guiding them home. He stepped off the train, lantern held high. The night was still, fog thinning, stars shining. He unfolded Evelyn's final letter and read slowly, trembled with every word, letting it fill the quiet around him. "Thank you for seeing me. Truly seeing me. If this train ever finds its way back, know that I carried our conversation across every mile. Do not mourn. Say goodbye with a full heart. Your light will carry others home." Tears slid down Samuel's cheeks. The train whistle exhaled one last warm note, like a sigh of relief. The locomotive dissolved gently into a soft golden haze. Light by light, window by window, it melted into the night. Nothing remained but the quiet rails and Samuel's lantern glowing alone. The next morning, townspeople found Samuel sitting peacefully on the platform. He said simply, "The last train finally made it home." He retired that week. For the first time in decades, he slept without waiting for something that never came. The station closed permanently, but the lantern was placed in the town museum with a brass plate, for the stationmaster who kept the light burning. Locals still talk about that night. Some say they hear a whistle in the wind. Others swear they see a faint glow along the tracks. Whether legend or truth, one thing remains: a promise kept can guide lost things home, even after 100 years. And so, as the night deepens around you, remember this story of patience, quiet devotion, and light that never fades. Some things we think are lost are simply on their way home. Sleep deeply now, rest safely, and let the train whistle fade peacefully into the night. If you are new my channel, please subscribe and press bell icon. Good night.